Hey, thank you for watching this video. There's more online at Embark Online. You can tweet me, and of course, here's the Pie Guy.
All right, this is third grade, Module 6, Lesson 6, and in this lesson, students are going to be giving various line plots, and then they're going to be having to learn how to read that line plot, understand what kind of information that line plot is telling them, and then answer some questions based on that line plot. So let's get started.
All right, so we've been given this line plot, and it says Miss Leal measures the heights of the students in her kindergarten class. The heights are shown on the line plot below. And now we have all these questions that we're supposed to answer, but before we look at the questions, let's take a look at the line plot. So parents and teachers, we want our students to just take a moment and read the title. Okay, height of students in Mrs. Leal's kindergarten class. We want them to see the label down here. Oh, these are in inches. These are not pounds. These are not in meters or centimeters. These are in inches. And then we can see that each X represents one student. Because in previous videos we knew that each little symbol might represent 2 or 4 or 10 students. So it's important to recognize that each X, in this case, represents one student. So the first question, how many students did in Mrs. Leal's class are exactly 41 inches tall? So we're going to look for 41, and we can see that there are 4 students who are exactly 41 inches tall. And then how many students are in Mrs. Leal's class all together? So that means we have to count all the X's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Boom! There are 20 students in Miss Leal's class. And that's how we know, is because we counted all the X's. And then the last one, nope, not last one, C. How many students are more than 42 inches? So we're not going to count the 42s, but we're going to count all of these guys way over here, and I'm going to leave that to you guys to count. And then lastly, Miss Leal says that for the class pictures, students in the back row must be at least 42.5 inches tall. So how many students are that? So at least. Now, parents and teachers, some serious vocabulary. At least, at most, exactly. These are all words that you might want to put on a word wall, especially for your English language learners. At least means 42.5 inches is good and higher. So we know that we're going to count these 5, plus these 3 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. So this answer would be 9, because at least 42.5 inches is an important little piece of terminology. And the last slide for this video. Mr. Stein's class is studying plants. They plant seeds in clear plastic bags and measure the lengths of the roots, and the lengths of the roots in inches are shown in the line plot below. So parents and teachers, we want our students to take a moment and look at this line plot and read the title. Oh, length of plants, roots. We know that each X represents one plant, and that these numbers down here represent inches. And that's the idea. A lot of information can be gleaned from this line plot just by reading the titles and the labels and whatnot. So first question, how many roots did Mr. Stein's class measure, and how do we know? Well, that means we're going to have to count all of these X's, and that's going to give us that answer. For B, Teresa says that the 3 most frequent, and there's an important vocabulary word that you might want to put on our word wall, especially for your English language learners. Most frequent measurements in order from shortest to longest are. And then 3 1/4, 3 2/4, and 3 3/4. So the idea is we're going to look for 3 1/4. Where's 3 1/4? There's 3 1/4. And then 3 2/4 is right here. And then 3 3/4 is right here. Those are the most frequent measurements in order from shortest to the longest. Do we agree? And the answer is no, we don't agree. These 2 are the big ones, but this one should not be included. Actually, 3 inches should be included. These are the 3 most frequent measurements because they've got the most votes. It's kind of like, you could think of it like votes. And then the last one, Gerald says that the most common measurement is 14 quarter inches. Oh my goodness, 14 quarter inches. Is he right? Well, we can see that the most common vote is right here, 3 2/4. So now what we need to do is figure out 3 2/4. Is 3 2/4 the same as 14 quarter inches? Variety of ways that we could solve this. I think my favorite, especially for 3rd grade, is to draw a picture. So let's start with 0, and let's just arbitrarily label that 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to stop right there, although that would keep going. And now we're going to label each of these into quarters. We're going to cut them each into 4 pieces because that's what quarters are. It means there's each whole has been cut into 4 equal-sized pieces. 4 equal-sized pieces. 4 equal-sized pieces. Now, where is 3 2/4? Well, 3 2/4 would live right here. That's 3 2/4. So now we have to see if that's equal to 14 quarters. So we're just going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters equals 1 whole. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the answer is yes, he is indeed correct. And that wraps up 3rd grade, Module 6, Lesson 6. We're given some line plots, and then we have to basically interpret the information in that line plot.